Hi class. So we will be working on squares for this tutorial. We'll be doing a lot of this in the rectangle tool right here. As you can see, it's two squares on top of one another that are overlapping in this infinite-like shape. So this is the type of work that we want to work on. It looks complex, but there are simple ways of how this can be constructed. And all this is two squares on top of each other with a few little moves with the shape builder tool, and we'll get there. Alright, so we're going to select our rectangle tool right here. I'm going to go off to the side of my workspace and hold down the shift key to make sure I end up with a square. Alright, and I want to make sure that my strokes are on the larger side, so I want to make sure that I'm in the 5-point or 4-point range. Alright, now you'll notice that those squares have outlines. So what I want to do is recreate those outlines. So I will hold down the Option key while this is selected, click and drag to make a copy. Then what I want to do is I want to make this a little bit smaller, like so. Now you'll notice that this is off center. So what I'm going to do is select this, select both of them, and I want to go into the Align tool. So what I'll do is go into Window and click on Align, and then I'll have a menu right here that says Align Objects, and I can align to the left, I can align to the right, or I can align to the top or bottom or the center. So what I need is to align to the center, horizontally and vertically, like so. Alright, so now that I have that covered, what I want to do is go into my Pathfinder tool. If you can't access this right here, that's fine. You go into Window, and you go into Pathfinder, and you'll have a menu that pops up for your Pathfinder. And with Pathfinder, you can create even more interesting shapes. You can subtract, you can add, you can exclude, you can intersect. So a very powerful type of tool for shapes, right? So what I want to do is I want to create a cutout. Now you'll notice, sorry about that, I'm going to select and show you off the workspace that it's just two squares with an outline. So what I want is I want an actual cutout. So to do that, I want to bring this back. I want to make this black, make the outer square black, and I want to make the smaller square white. So what I'll do is get rid of the stroke, and I will go back into the fill and select white. Now what I'm going to do is select both of them, get out of color, and I'm going to go into minus front. So now what I have is a square that looks like a cutout. Now I want to go back into my outline mode. And I want to go back into 5-point thickness. And now what I want to do is duplicate this square, like so. And I want to refer back to my original right here. Get rid of this. You'll notice that we have a square and a diamond on top. So I'm going to rotate this 90 degrees like so, and then place this on top of the square like this. And then what I want to do is I want to make sure this is centered horizontally and vertically. So I'm going to select both squares like so, and then I'm going to go into my Align tool. And if you hover on top of those icons, you'll see that it gives you the name of each tool. We're going to go into the Align Objects. We're going to align horizontally to the center, and you're going to align vertically to the center. So now what we have is both squares aligned nicely. So now we're going to select all those squares. We're going to go into the Shape Builder tool right here, like so. And now what we want to do is you'll notice that those highlighted areas start to pop up on top of our square. And you want to make sure that you are selecting your shape, or else it will not work. Right? Let's get rid of this. So now we're going to just simply click and drag like so. Simple shape. So I'm going to each corner and just cleaning that up. So I'm going to go down like so. And this might take a little bit of practice to realize where you want to stop. Right? And it's okay to stop and just make sure you're making things align correctly, overlap correctly. You can always go back Command Z if you missed a few things. That's fine. So remember, there are these areas right here that we want to click and drag to create this weave-like effect. Click and drag. Then I'm just looking at my shape as I go along. Click and drag. Click and drag. Click and drag. Right? So now I want to fix some of those other areas a little bit more. So I'm simplifying this shape into this nice weave-like pattern that we see. And that's what's nice about the Shape Builder tool is, well, it's a little bit different, but you kind of get the idea that it gives you this particular type of control over complexity, and it makes it very easy to create. So this is what this looks like for a square. I chose to do a particular kind of star that overlaps on top of itself infinitely. And we're going to go into something a little bit more complex in the next video.